Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Lawrence Block, The Sins of the Fathers, book number 1 in his Matthew Scudder detective series. Now, if you saw my latest birthday book haul where I bought a bunch of books for my birthday, you know I bought a lot of Lawrence Block books. I read A Walk Amongst the Tombstones a long time ago. I really liked that book, and so I've always kind of had my eye on Lawrence Block books, and so for my birthday, I bought the entire Matthew Scudder series, including Walk Amongst the Tombstones, and then I bought his Burglar series right here, and then I bought his Hitman series right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an entire day. What I did, it's already been done, not what I'm going to do. I've already done this. I took an entire day and I read the first book in each series. So I read The Sins of the Fathers. I read Burglars Can't Be Choosers. And I read Hitman. All in one day. You know, I can read about 100 pages a day. This book's only about 160 pages. This one's only about 200. Hitman's about 250. It was an easy. I had time to spare. Read the books, had time to spare. Even went and watched a Utah Jazz playoff game when I was done. That's how much time to spare I had. So, that's kind of a little experiment. One day reading the first of a series, the first book in each of the Lawrence Block series, and we're going to rate and review them in the order that I read them, because I did read this one first. What is it about? It came out in 1976. Like I said, it is the first book in the Matthew Scudder series, and we always review the covers because I love graphic design and illustration. This has got a real funky sort of 1960s, 1970s illustration of a knife slicing through God knows what, and some neon lights in the background. It's just kind of bizarro in a really cool sort of Tarantino way. So I like it. So this thing starts out with Matthew Scudder, our investigator, who I compare mostly to Robert B. Parker's Spencer. That's who it would be compared mostly. In fact, if I was to say anything about this book so far, this book, book 1, compared with Walk Amongst the Tombstones, which I've also read, this is comparable to Robert B. Parker's Spencer series, although this has less humor and a lot more grit, grim grittiness, and very much more rated R than Spencer ever was. I mean, this stuff is bloody fun. Bloody, but bloody fun. So, Matthew Scudder, he's an investigator. He gets approached by a guy named Cale, who's a big, tough, rich guy from upstate New York. Utica, I believe, is the town he comes from. And his daughter has been murdered, and the kid that allegedly murdered her was sent to prison, was immediately arrested, immediately sent to jail, and immediately committed suicide whilst he was in jail. And so this guy Cale is like, I don't know if that kid really murdered my daughter. I think there's something else to it. And so Scudder's like, okay, I will. It seems like a pretty cut and dried case to me, Scudder says. I mean, Scudder goes and like investigates what the police, he goes and talks to the police, and they're like, yeah, man, this dude killed her. The dude confessed it. He was covered in her blood. He killed her. In fact, not only did he kill her, I mean, they go into some graphic details of the murder scene, and it's like hard to read, right? This is heavy stuff, folks. This ain't for the lighthearted. And so, about 20 pages into this book, I realized not only do we meet Cale, the father of the murdered girl, but we also meet the father of the killer, the boy that's alleged to have killed the girl. And he's a preacher, and he's really disgusted with his son and whatnot because he's a preacher, and he's like, oh my God, the son has brought such shame to the family. And then I realized the title of the book is called The Sins of the Fathers, and I'm like, clearly one of these fathers was the murderer. Was I right or wrong? It's almost like the title gave away the ending. Now we're just looking at which guy was it, right? Okay, so that is the only thing I didn't like about the book. I thought the book was fucking awesomely written. Like, this guy Lawrence Block can write a damn good scene. He can write damn good characters and great dialogue and everything. And normally I would give this book a wild praise, but I only give it knocking at some stars because fucking title, man. Why don't you just tell me who the killer is in the title? Next time. Anyway. Great fucking awesome book marred by a real dog shit title. That's all I'm going to say about it. I give this about an 8.5 out of 10. It could have been a 9.5. Someone done up on the title.